Oh boy. Once again, managed to start the game. There we go. Without doing any sort of introduction. Fortunately, I think my opponent is giving me the time to get situated. It's very kind of them. Let's see what they come up with. Today, I believe, is day 75, the daily upload of a 30-minute chess game. There we go. D4, D5. C4, I believe, is most common. Ooh, knight to C3. What does it mean? I think we'll sort of slip into a Slav defense or a Karo here. They've pinned their C3 pawn in place, so I think, if they do want to push E4, that is fine by me. It's sort of a strange move order. Actually, I suppose that won't work. Normally it's pawns come out. Okay, they get their dark squared bishop out. What can we do about this? Can we push all the way? I don't think so. They take... They have a nice advanced pawn. I think we go ahead and close up our center, I suppose. Sort of a challenging situation. I guess we could get our light squared bishop out to G4. We can get it out wherever we want. Let's get it out to G4. Let's pressure or pin this E2 pawn, and then close up our center. They push F3, potentially a weakening move. We'll drop back. Once we push E6, then we have the very dangerous queen to H4 check available. And I think that's going to be very bad indeed for our opponent when the time comes to pass and we are able to play it. Oh, interesting. So we'd no longer be able to play that. So it's sort of what I see in the Karo advance. You harass the light squared bishop by threatening to trap it into place. But ordinarily you've pushed E4, so I think that might present a weakness in our opponent's position. But it will remain to be seen. Our opponent may be banking this tempo for a later date when they can use it. They don't have to push H5 immediately. They can do that at a later time. All right, our opponent pushes E3. I think we go ahead and close up our center. And get our dark squared bishop out, say, to B4. Seems pretty good to me. And if they're just going to push pawns, I think that is fine by me. Perhaps they're looking to castle queenside. In which case, I think we will have some nice attacking options. Right now, bishop out to b4 looks pretty good if we make this trade. We are trading away our good bishop, but they have to take back with their pawn, preventing... Okay, they get their light squared bishop out. So trading looks decent here. We could get our knight out to e7 if we want to defend like that, but then I don't see really where a knight goes from there. I guess if we take back, then we can take on h4, protected by the queen, and that looks sort of... it's a free pawn, but it's not ideal, and they don't have to take here. And I wonder if they don't take, if we take back, their queen comes out, knight comes out, threatening their dark squared bishop. The other option is takes. Oops. Bishop takes, queen takes, and then bishop out to b4. And then if we take, they can take their queen. Yeah, so I think we are hemming in our dark squared bishop for the time being. But we can find a different home for it if we need to. Queen out to b6 looks appealing, hitting this b2 pawn. If they want to trade, I think that is in our favor at this point. So I think these are good moves. They've got 3 pieces developed. We only have 2. Their kingside is weakened, but I think this pawn structure will be hard to attack, especially if they push. Yeah. So now we have a couple options. We could drop back, or we can make the trade. I don't think we have any options for counterplay, really. Our knight looks a little silly here, but I think we can push c5 and then get our knight out to c6. So I think we make this trade here. Sort of forced into doing that. I guess if we push, comes down, knight, push, check. Oh yeah, that's not ideal, is it? So we can't push quite yet. We could develop our knight to c8, opening up our dark squared bishop. To c8, and then up to maybe like this. Looks like we could do something. Yeah, I think. As strange as it looks, knight to c8, sort of signaling our extremely cramped position. Yeah, there we go. They castle queenside. And let's get a piece out. Yeah. Maybe other knight comes out to d6 if they want to trade. I think that's fine. But I think knight up to b4 is looking really good to me. Hitting their queen, which doesn't have a ton of squares that it can move to. And then they don't have a lot of good places to put this knight. Both of these are pretty blocked off. I guess knight to e2 looks decent, reinforcing this knight. Yeah. But we can play this, hitting their queen, which only has... The queen can just move back to d2. Can we set up a fork? I don't think so. But this looks decent. And then we hold off on... oh, I mean, like this. Queen comes out. And then we potentially have takes, queen takes, super threatening their king. And sort of supported by our dark squared bishop, which can come out at a moment's notice. So let's push out here. Get our queen out to a5. Actually, oh man, I wish we could get our dark squared bishop out to a5, because this idea of knight takes here with the queen on d2. Yeah. So takes, that opens up this diagonal on their queen. So if only... Is there a way that we can make that happen? I wonder out here... takes, and then this would be checkmate. They need to move their queen again. Maybe we can get our other knight into the mix like this. Oh, like this. Here we go. Hit their queen again, force it to move back. Yeah, why don't we get another piece developed? I think, yeah, we're opening up our position pretty effectively. The opponent's looking pretty cramped. This hits their queen and forces their queen to move back to e1. So let's do that first. Yeah, force their queen to move back. And then I guess queen up to a5 If they want to take, then we have checkmate here with our knight guarding d2. So let's get our queen out. Okay, this is looking very dangerous. Could be a quick game today. And we have this check available to us. Their knight is currently guarding that square, so that's not going to work. Gosh, what is our opponent to do? We've sort of locked them out of the position. They don't have... They've locked themselves into their own position. This is simply checkmate. Knight comes out to a2. The only square the king can move to is guarded by our other knight. Simple. All right, let's take a look at the review. Nice to have a quick game today. Let's fix my streaming setup. There we go. D4, D5, C3, C6, Queen's pawn opening, 4G4, F3 is best. That's interesting. Yeah, threatening to trap our bishop. H6, I guess H5 would be a little bit better. Takes, and then we're just staring down this other pawn. I don't know. I don't mind H6. Yep, open up our bishop. Trade. Knight to C8 is listed as an excellent move. It didn't feel very good at the time because we've got all of our pieces in the back rank. And they've got 3 pieces developed, but it does sort of free up our dark squared bishop. Queenside castling, I'm surprised to see, is a good move. We mount this very effective attack on their castled king. Queen to E1. Queen to A5 is an inaccuracy, which I don't know if I believe that. I mean, it was very effective. We're threatening checkmate and like defending our knight. Although I guess I wonder, queen to B6. Why can't they take here? This permits the opponent to threaten checkmate. Oh, I see. Yeah, and then we have queen takes on B2 checkmate. So we have another substantial checkmating threat there. A5, they think takes would have been a mistake here. Because we have, yeah, queen to A1 checkmate. Oh, that's interesting. Queen to A1 check. Their knight comes back to block it. Oh, and then we take here with checkmate. Very clever. Okay, so a number of checkmating opportunities here. We settle on the one that sort of has both of our knights involved, which I think is a pretty checkmating idea. I like that. Cool. Another quick game today. I'm gonna call it here. Have a good one, y'all.